Hello and welcome to a quick video for Final Fantasy XIV, and this is to briefly talk about the changes to Mount Gulg in patch 5.08. You may or may not have been aware of a little section of the patch 5.08 patch notes that mentioned, and I quote, "The appearance of the ground in certain areas of the dungeon Mount Gulg have been adjusted," end quote. So what exactly have they done? Well, let's first dig out footage of Mount Gulg prior to the patch back in regular 5.0 and compare it. This then, as you can see on this footage, is the area they're talking about, which starts just after the first boss and goes throughout the remainder of the dungeon. This footage I'm showing right now is of 5.08. You'll notice that the ground of any white surface is no longer bright, brilliant white, but in fact now a much more dimmed grey colour. This applies to then all areas where there is any of this white flooring, including boss rooms and trash areas. To continue, this is what the second boss's arena looked like, for example back in 5.0 with my truss, with this piercing brilliant white, and obviously some people will say that it has its own aesthetic appeal. So why exactly was this change done? In the many forum threads and feedback replies in official and unofficial channels, players worldwide let Square Enix know directly all about the fact that whilst the dungeon is fantastic, which we can all agree, some players were indeed finding it hard to focus on and or see AoE markers against the solid white flooring. A good example of this is the trash leading up to boss 2 with the demon wall things. Previously these floors were a nightmare for some people to see the AoEs against, but now with this grey colour it's quite a bit easier to see than before. Like I say, this change affects all of the latter half of the dungeon. You can see on the texture file itself here how different the colour has shifted, but at the same time they've tried to keep much of the same feel aesthetically, and honestly any darker and I don't think it would have had the same effect. I think there was something incredibly strange and unnerving feeling when you first laid eyes on the colourless white textured cubes of Mount Gulg, and honestly it shouted Nier Automata in so many ways at you, but perhaps the dungeon team got a little carried away with all the white. So there you go. If you were wondering what the changes were or how badly it's affected the dungeon, you'll be thankful to know now that it's still the same epic looking dungeon, but now more of your fellow adventurers might be able to see what they're doing, and perhaps can use it in some situations as less of an excuse for standing in crap. But we live in hope on that one. Thank you all kindly for watching, and I'll see you all next time.